my God. Hey dolls and friends, welcome back and thanks so much for spending part of your day with me. If you're new here, my name is Amber Michon. This is Caleb and this is Isaiah, and I do weekly DIYs using majority of Dollar Tree and other affordable items. But if you're not new, hey doll, hey! So in today's video, I'm sharing with you my top 10 farmhouse home decor DIYs that I have done here on my channel. Some of them, most of them are oldies, but they are all goodies. I love how they all turn out, which is why they are my top 10. All of these are still in my home right now. Actually, one of them I sold to one of my friends, but I made another one, so it's totally okay. And I hope you guys really do enjoy this. I know you guys have been thrown a ton of spring and Easter DIY decor ideas, and that is all great, but I thought I'd just throw a little wrench in the plans just to change up your feed and the algorithm a bit, just to see if you enjoy it. And I think that you will. So if you do, make sure you give me a big thumbs up, as it definitely helps out my channel and its growth. If you're new, I love what you see, but love all things home decor, DIY on a budget. I would also appreciate if you would consider subscribing and hitting the bell right next to it so you're notified every time that I upload. Also, this video is in partnership with a Lull Mattress. I have recently been sent another Lull original mattress, and I absolutely love their product. It's a high quality memory foam mattress that gets delivered in a box. Yes, a box. That makes setup so easy and it's super convenient. We'll talk more about that in a bit, but for now, let's go ahead and get into the DIYs. So for this first DIY, it is my absolute favorite. I am taking some skewers that I got from Dollar Tree, as well as their wooden cubes. And then I have these, I think they're 16mm wood beads from Amazon, and then 2 shadow box signs from Michael's. They were 99 cents. So the first thing I did is just cut off the ends of the skewers and then measure to where I need to have my bead stop. Once I measured out where my bead needed to stop because it can't go all the way down inside of the shadow box, I hot glued a wood bead there. And then to attach the rest of my beads, I found that the best way to do this is using wood glue. And I do this for every single wood bead project that I have to do now. I used to use hot glue, but wood beads do the best, especially if you're making something like this lantern, or if you're making a wreath or something like that. If it's half wood beads, you could totally use hot glue. Anyways, I did that for all 4 skewers, and this is what it looks like. Then I'm going to take my wood cubes, and then I'm going to make a topper for my lantern. So I used wood glue again, and then I did 3 rows of 3 to make a little square on it. And then I did 4 of the wood bead, and then I did the other 4 on the top. You can see what I'm doing here. Just 3 rows of 3 and then 2 rows of 2 right on top. And that makes a really nice squared off topper. Then I'm going to go to my shadow box signs, remove the sawtooth hangers on them, as well as the twine hanger, the jute twine hanger, remove the tag, and then remove the staples that are in there. I'm going to sand that down, but you can still see a little bit of the holes. So I'm going to fill it up with a little bit of this wood filler. It goes on pink, but it dries a natural brown. So it kind of blends in with the wood color. And then once it dries, I'm just going to sand that down to get a nice smooth finish to it. Then I'm going to head over to my wood bead skewers. Now that they are dry, the wood glue, I'm going to paint them using some white chalk paint from Rust-Oleum. I actually don't have any more of this paint. This video was done probably about a year ago. But yeah, once it's dry, then, once you've painted it all, put it in a floral foam, and then it'll dry. It'll be way easier to stick there. After that, I took my antique wax paint color, and I'm just going to give both of my shadow box signs one coat, as well as my topper. I didn't wipe this down to get any stained look or anything like that. So you choose what you want to do with that. You can even paint it a different color you want, but the brown, white, and blacks is the color scheme of my home. So yeah, once everything is painted and dried, now it's time for me to assemble. So this is where it comes in handy, or it comes important that you measure that wood bead on top of the shadow box, because you're going to hot glue the piece of the skewer that's out to the four corners, and you're going to put a generous amount. So I found that it's easiest to put hot glue onto the crease of the shadow box and then place the skewer there and then put more hot glue right on top. So like your glue is kind of sandwiched. The skewer is sandwiched in between the hot glue, if that makes any sense. Then you're going to do the same thing to the other side of the other shadow box, and that's pretty much it. I did go back to paint the glue because you could see it if you didn't have anything in there. I have a lot of stuff like florals and candles in my lantern, so you can't really see it. But yeah, and then I hot glued the topper right on top of the lantern, and that's it for this one. I really love how this turned out. I actually made myself a couple of more, and I have them staged throughout my home, and I really love how they turned out, and I know this is a favorite of you all's. I'm super happy about this one, and I hope you guys like it too. Still. For the next DIY, I'm going to take this Valentine's Day sign from Dollar Tree, some dowel rods from Dollar Tree. Sometimes they have those like these circular ones in like a big pack, or you can get them from Walmart. And then I'm going to use some half wood beads. I believe these are 16 millimeter. And then I'm just going to cut off a piece of the sign, just a random like rectangular square. I didn't measure it or anything. I covered the front side with some brown craft paper to get a finished look to it. Then I took those skewers and I'm just going to measure all around the perimeter of the sign and then use my shears to cut that down to size. Once I have them cut down to size, I always make sure that I put it in place to make sure that it all fits correctly. Then I took more of my Gorilla Wood Glue and adhered that to the skewer and then placed it onto the sign. And then I also used some clamps. These are from Dollar Tree actually, to hold down the skewers in place so that way they would not move. Then I actually had to measure the inside of the skewers using the wood beads. So I had to place the wood beads, the half wood beads there, so I knew how long I needed my skewers to be, if that makes any sense. So here you can see I laid out a row and then I just put down two sides of my skewers, marked it down, and then cut that to size. I then glued it with that wood glue on the corners of the skewers just so I can get a good hold. I should have like glued it while it was still like put it on top of the sign, but I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to get the chance of gluing down the half wood beads because I'm painting the entire thing, but the wood beads are staying that natural brown color, if that makes any sense. So anyways, I just put a generous amount of wood glue onto the top of the skewers for the inside square and then placed it right in the middle. I kept the beads there mainly for measuring purposes. I found that was the easiest way than eyeballing. I eyeball a lot, and sometimes I get a little off center and it's a little to the left or a little to the right. So I decided to keep the wood beads there. Anyways, after 2 coats of that white chalk paint, this is almost done. Now I'm just going to put down my half wood beads. And I like to put down the 4 corners of my wood beads first so I can make sure that I have the correct spacing that I need, and then just go all the way through. This is one instance where I'm totally fine using hot glue for my wood beads and not using wood glue. So once you make sure you go all the way around with that, this is what it looks like. Then I'm going to make a little wreath out of this. I have this faux, I have a bunch of these little pieces in just my floral stash little cubby drawer thing. So I just made a cute little mini wreath, and then I'm taking some faux leather that I have from Cricut. I actually got this in just a sample pack or something. So I've just kind of been using it for random stuff like this. I just cut off a piece, hot glued it after I looped it through the wreath, and then hot glued it to the top of the sign. Then I took one of these pop-up stickers from the Dollar Tree and I painted it black. And so I put it onto the top of the faux leather piece just to act like it was a faux nail. And I thought it brought it together really well. Then I went to my Cricut Joy and cut out the word blessed and then just adhered that to the bottom of this sign. And this is complete. I really do love how this turned out. Let's go ahead and talk about Lowell Original Mattress. So as I stated, Lowell's Original Mattress is such a convenient and easy process. They deliver it straight to your door in a box and setup is extremely easy. The box isn't as heavy as you would think it was. I was able to lug it up the stairs all by myself, no problem. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. It makes it so easy to set up. All you do is pull it out of the box, put it on your bed, roll it out, cut open the plastic, and let the magic happen. It's so easy, and that's honestly what I love about it. Also, Lowell's Original Mattress offers 365 night trial, free shipping, free returns, and lifetime warranty. This mattress is the perfect mix of comfort and support. And it has a cooling gel-infused layer with more motion isolation than a typical spring mattress. And it is US certified, so there aren't any harmful chemicals or ozone depleters in their products. I really do love this mattress. This is the second one that we have received from Lowell Original Mattress, and I couldn't be happier with my purchase. It has the right amount of firmness and softness that both me and my husband love and need. Because Lord knows, I have really bad lower back issues. My husband has neck issues. So Lowell's Original Mattress, as well as the pillows that we already have really come in handy and helpful for our good night's rest for us. So if this is something that you think you'd be interested in and you may need a change in your mattress, go ahead and go to my description box below. There you will find a discount link for $300 off any Lowell Original Mattress. Yes, $300 off any Lowell Original Mattress. All right, dolls, let's go ahead and get back to the DIYs. For the next two DIYs, these are going to be the absolute easiest DIYs you've ever done. So for this one, from Dollar Tree, you're going to take an 8x10 picture frame. And then from Target's Dollar Spot, I found this pack of it's just decor pictures. And it just has a bunch of random stuff in it. I bought 3 different packs, so 3 different styles. And so what I did is remove the elephant one out of this, and I really love that picture. So then I removed everything out of the picture frame and then decided to use my my Rust-Oleum white chalk paint and give it one good coat. And then I took this gray acrylic paint from Apple Barrel and I used a chippy brush, and all I did was really highlight the grooves and the creases inside of this picture frame. I chose this frame specifically because it reminded me of what the elephant's skin looks like. I felt like that's what it looks like, and that I've never touched an elephant, but I feel like that's what it would feel like too. I don't know, but I thought it went really well with it. I love the gray popping off of the white. And so then I just put everything back in there, and that's it for this one. You guys, literally 2 to 3 steps on this. Super easy. You probably have everything at home, so get to creating. For this next super easy DIY, we're going to go back to that photo package that I had, and I picked out a giraffe picture. Then I have this flat canvas from the Dollar Tree. I believe this is a 5x7 one. And then I have a square dowel rod. I always get my square dowel rods from Hobby Lobby because they're pretty cheap. Then I just measured out where I needed to cut this using my miter shears, and I did it at a 45-degree angle so that way I could have that nice cool frame look to it. Then I painted the border using my linen white chalk paint from Rust-Oleum, and then painted the canvas using my black paint from Apple Barrel. After everything was all painted, I just positioned my frame where it needed to be and then adhered it with some hot glue. You can use whatever glue it is that you want, but honestly, this picture is still hanging up in my home and it has not fallen off, come apart from with the hot glue at all. So whatever you want and whatever you feel most comfortable with, do that. Then I just, after I put my border down, I took the giraffe picture and then just hot glued that down to the center, just hot gluing it on the edges. Then I took my staple gun and then did staples on all four corners of the border. I thought that they gave that some really nice character, but then I really just wanted to add something more to break up the black and the white. So I used my half-wood beads and I hot glued them on the four corners of the giraffe picture. And I thought this brought it together perfectly. I absolutely love this picture. It's got that modern farmhouse feel to me, modern farmhouse boho. I really love it. So for another easy DIY, I just took one of these like wood blanks from, I think I got this from Michael's. I believe I got it from Michael's. And then this love word I also got from Michael's. And then I have some solo wood florals. This wood blank actually was only 99 cents and the love word was 99 cents as well. So then I took my Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint and then gave this sign just one good coat of white. And then I painted the raised border on this using my black acrylic paint from Apple Barrel and just gave that two good coats all around. And then to hide actually the top part where those clothespins were, I could not get them off for the life of me. A few of you when this DIY originally uploaded said to use my heat tool to be able to loosen the glue up, and I could do that. If I have run into that problem again, I will. But I took a bunch of solo wood florals that I have on hand and just arranged those. Those are all neutral brown cream colors. I really love this color combination. This is literally what my home looks like with all of these neutral colors and some black and white. And I love it. Then I just hot glued the love word onto the bottom and that's it, you guys. I really, really love how this turned out. It looks like a super cute bouquet of florals at the top and you could just change out the wording or whatever, change out the colors. I love how this turned out. For the next DIY, this is actually a thrift flip. So I actually picked up this wood pig from the Goodwill. I think it was $1.99 and I gave it two coats of white paint. It's white chalk paint. And then I started to sand it down. I like my distressing technique is less painting distressing, more sanding distressing, if you get my drift. So I always start outward and then go inward to make sure that I'm comfortable with the look of it and that my eyes are happy with what I'm creating. So I always sand down the edges of my pieces to make sure that it looks good. Anytime you sand down an edge or a corner, it's always going to give that distressed, like weathered look, and it looks really, really pretty. Then I decided to go inside of my pig and go pretty much ham on it. Go inside my pig and go ham. Good one, Amber. I didn't even try for that one. Anyways, after all my distressing was done, I then went to my Cricut and cut out this image, Farm Sweet Farm. I just searched in images and this came up. Put that on there and that's it for this one. Another super easy two-step process for a really cute farmhouse project. I love this. This one is another easy two-step process. I just took this little glass jar from Dollar Tree and my plaster chalk paint from Waverly. Gave this two good coats. I really like how it turned out because I used a chippy brush. So the way that the brush strokes were on there made it look like weathered in itself. Anyways, then I went to my Cricut Joy and cut out this image, Enjoy the Little Things. put that onto the front of it, and then sanded down the grooves and all of the edges that kind of pop out on this jar. And that's pretty much it. When I originally uploaded this, I know a lot of people said they've done something like this before, but I really love it. I think this is great for tier trays, and if you have like a small little riser you want to put it on, I think it's perfect for that. Next up, another easy one. This is like 3 steps. Anyways, I have these 16mm half wood beads from Amazon. And then I have this candle holder from Dollar Tree. It was 50 cents because it's cracked on the side, as you can see. And then I have this wood circular piece that I got from Walmart. And I believe it was 97 cents. So what I do is just remove the tag and the staple and everything, and then hot glue the wood beads on the border of this circle. And I just used hot glue all the way around. I don't think I knew the beauty of wood glue at this moment, y'all. But this is what it looks like after I'm done. Then I'm going to take my ink chalk paint and then just paint everything black. I even painted the candle holder because there's a different look that chalk paint gives, and I wanted to make sure my entire piece looked uniform. Once everything was painted, I then took my white Waverly chalk paint and a small chippy brush and just started to distress a little bit around. And you can see I'm like super timid when I do like distressing on like vases or like candle holders with like paint, because I feel like I always like mess up. I don't know what I'm doing. I just get really timid. That's why I really like distressing using like a sanding block or something, because I feel like I have a little bit more control over it. When you put too much paint on something, there's no turning back, right? But anyways, I just kept going for it. And so then I did a little bit more painting distressing on the top of the tray or the riser where the wood beads were, and then just all the way around just to get an even look to it. Then I hot glued the candle holder to the top of the tray, and that is it for this little riser. I think it's super cute. Like I said, for the last DIY, you can even put that glass vase on top. I think it's adorable and it adds really to my decor. Next up, we're taking those infamous Dollar Tree houses. We're taking one of them and we're going to remove the tag onto the back and then just paint it using my Waverly chalk paint in white. And I believe I did 2 coats of white on this house. Once that was done and getting ready to dry, I found this burlap heart. I actually really don't know where I had this burlap heart from. It was just in my stash. So then I have this wooden heart from the Dollar Tree. You can get it in the Crafter Square section in a pack of like, I think they come in like 5, where it's like chalkboard on the front. So anyways, I painted the back in black, and then I cut out the phrase "Bless Our Nest" from my Cricut, and then I just varnished it over to the front of that black heart. Then hot glued the black heart to the burlap heart, and then hot glued that heart duo to the front of the house in the center. And then I just cut down some of this greenery and just hot glued it to the top of the house until my eyes are happy. I just kept going back and forth until it looked good. And then I actually made a little mini twine bow. And then so I put that in front of the hole of the heart just to hide that a bit. And I think this is really adorable. It's another really cute, simple, easy DIY to add to your decor. People have done millions of house DIYs. And I do quite a few, but I really love this because it goes really with my decor a lot. For the next DIY, I'm using another circular wood piece from Walmart, a circular dowel from Dollar Tree, as well as a large wood block. And then I got these Roman numerals from Plaid online. First thing I'm going to do is use my wicker white acrylic paint from Folk Art and paint the front of what this clock will be. Then I used my ink chalk paint from Waverly and painted the entire wood block. Then I took my ruler, and if you've been here for a while, you know your girl loves her faux shiplap lines. So that's pretty much what I did. I just took my little finger knife. I'm going to call it my fizzers. Yes, it is fizzers, but I like to call it my finger knife. Anyways, and I did my little faux shiplap lines on there. Then I took some gray paint and then just kind of started putting it, like globbing it onto those lines, just so I can get a nice distressed kind of like shiplap look, right? The faux shiplap look. Anyways, I just kept going back and forth till I was happy with it. The more easier way to do this would be to just like trace it with a pencil and then just smear it with your finger. I have learned that since I have put this video out over a year ago. Just do that. It'll make your life a whole lot easier, and it'll probably look more like what you're wanting to. But I was happy with the way that this looked. Then I just cut down the Roman numerals, cut them off, and then just started placing them around the front face of this clock. I used hot glue, but I should have used super glue gel. I did not know about super glue gel when I originally did this DIY. So if you do this, use super glue gel. It'll make your life a whole lot easier. Just use like some tweezers so you don't get the super glue gel on your fingers. But I use hot glue, and this is still standing up in my house right now anyway. So I'm not mad about it at all. Then I took these skewers, and then I'm going to make the hands of the clock. So I just cut them down. I literally eyeballed these like I eyeball a whole lot of other things, and just randomly placed them on a time. But then I did actually paint them using my black paint. Then I took the dowel rod, and I was originally going to just have it stand up on one thing, but I realized that the face of the clock would be too heavy for that. So I had to measure it and then cut it down to size to be able to get two pieces. So I just used my utility knife to cut that down. It was fairly easy. If you have a miter saw, it might be a little easier to do it, but hey, it worked for me. Then I just hot glued them to the back of the face of the clock. And then after the hands of my clock were dry from that black paint, I hot glued those on the front of the clock. And then I hot glued the dowels onto the top of the black block. And that's it for this one. I know I've uploaded this or included this DIY in probably like 3 videos. I think this is the 3rd one. But that shows you how much I absolutely love this DIY. You can make it a real clock if you want to, but this worked for me. So yeah, I really like this. Okay, you guys, so I am not done yet. I have a bonus DIY for you. I really, really love this one. It's in my guest bathroom, and I get tons of compliments on it. So this is a thrift flip. So I actually got this, I want to say like frame or whatever from the Goodwill. It was $3.99. Using my Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint, I believe I gave this sign or this frame 2 coats of paint. And then I also painted those square wood planks from the Dollar Tree. 6 come in a pack, so I just used 3 of them. And then I also painted my 16 millimeter wood beads, half wood beads from Amazon. Then I actually painted my glass piece using some black paint. I went to my Cricut and chose a stencil of like greenery floral thingies and cut that out on some stencil vinyl, and I'm using my moss colored chalk paint, and I'm going to paint over the stencil. So this is going on all 3 of those wood pieces that I painted white, and I really love this moss color. Like, I love this color. I love the pop of green that just pops off of the black. You'll see it in a minute. But after I did all of these wood planks and it dried, I just removed it. I know a few of you have told me I've had some bleeding on some stuff that I do stencils of. But this one was not one of them. I was, you guys give advice. It's always really great advice to remove my stencil before it dries. That would help. But I think that really helps with acrylic paint, with chalk paint, not so much for me anyways. And every time I remove like a stencil before it's dry, like I'm always going to mess up. It's always user error. Anyways, after my wood planks were done, I also painted the sides just so I could have a nice finished look. And then, of course, I took my finger sander and distressed and sanded down all of the edges on the outside and on the inside of my frame. Then I turned it over and I put my glass piece back on the inside and then also put my backing back in there. And then when I turned it over, I cleaned it up a bit, and then I went ahead and arranged my wood planks on the front as well as my wood beads. I did 3 of them in the middle and then 2 on the sides, my wood beads that is, and I just used hot glue. Now I will say this has been up in my guest bathroom ever since I did this DIY, and I did go back and put down everything using super glue gel. My wood beads fell off a couple of times and one of the plank pictures fell off a couple of times. So this is one instance where I actually did have to go back and use a heavier duty glue. But hey, it's still up. Everybody still likes it and I still love it. So this is your bonus. So 11 favorite. That's all I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Be blessed, stay safe, and I will see y'all on the next one. Bye. 5, 4, 3. Action. What?
And action.
Okay, it's old now.
What?
It's old now. Like, it was funny when you did it a couple days ago. Give up.
I'll show you
Okay.
that. I never.
Ready? Because you never what?
I never just sit on your lap. I
do.
I would that be you?
Okay, hold on.
Would that be you?
Okay, hold on.
I would that be you?
W.
Good job, mommy.
Thank you, I say. Good job, mommy. Hold on.
Yeah.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I can't stand y'all.